I think they should definitely sign AP. And if you look at what he's been able to do throughout his career and what they've been able to do offensively, you can go with Adrian Peterson because you're trying to win now. Also, Mark Ingram was a guy who had his first 1,000-yard rushing season last season. So you don't need to use an early draft pick to get a running back. You can find people later on in the draft that can help and eventually become good running backs in the NFL. What they need to do with those early picks is go defense. So you're not going to get a Leonard Fournette. You're not going to get a McCaffrey. You're not going to get a Dalvin Cook. But you have Mark Ingram. You don't really necessarily need them. Now you can have a two-headed running back monster with Mark Ingram and Adrian Peterson, who you know is hungry, who you know wants to win. And oh, by the way, he's never played with an offense run by Drew Brees, run by Sean Payton, with a Michael Thomas emerging as a #1 wide receiver. And so I think it'll be a great decision and a great pickup for the New Orleans Saints. And it also invigorates this offense. It invigorates this city. It invigorates this organization to now have this boost of energy and excitement in a guy like Adrian Peterson. And there is no way you take any of those first-round picks, whether it be pick number 11 or now the New England Patriots pick at the end of the round, and spend them on a running back or spend them on offense at all. You have to go defense. And if you're this team and you're ranked 31st in defense last year, and then you look at every time that there is a passing record broken, it seems like the New Orleans Saints are playing. You have to fix those issues. You have to find a pass rush. You have to find a #1 corner, which is why Malcolm Butler was in-house just a few weeks ago. There is no way you spend an early draft pick or a draft pick that can help you defensively on getting a running back. So you either take Adrian Peterson in free agency or you stand pat with Mark Ingram because he finally had a 1,000-yard season, but you do not use a draft pick offensively or for running back early on in this draft.
But you may not have to early on to get a decent running back or a good running back. There are so many examples in recent years of good, solid NFL running backs that can be had much later in the draft. Even as undrafted free agents, you might find a running back. And as you said, Mark Ingram, you have a running back. You're looking to complement your running game. Adrian Peterson could wind up being expensive. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense considering it's not like he's going to block for you. It's not like he's going to catch passes out of the backfield. I don't know what kind of – look, and the Saints have devoted a lot of resources in recent years, including the trade to bring in Max Unger that I've talked about in recent days as it relates to Seattle and Jimmy Graham. But and they've drafted guys high up to play on that line. They've signed guys. They've devoted resources there. But the line hasn't been able to stay healthy. So that also has to happen. To devote resources now to a running back in Adrian Peterson, who I believe might surprise people in the right situation, behind the right offensive line, but is not going to be elite to the extent that he once was. And I tried to tell people last year, hey, you know the Adrian Peterson you know and love, he's gone. He ain't coming back. And everyone told me I was crazy, but look what happened. I'm rooting for him. I think it could still be a B+, maybe even a little bit better than that. Running back for someone in the right situation, but at 32 years old, if you're hoping to see the Adrian Peterson of old instead of an older Adrian Peterson, I got bad news. He seems to me, how do we know he still has his breakaway speed? Like, he may be a 3-yard in a cloud of dust guy who's not going to block or catch passes.
Well, here's the thing.
You can do that in the draft and get it in the 6th round.